Hello again, everybody! Zag Attack is here with the attack line for Thursday, January 31st, 2013. Wow, I cannot believe we already went through the first month of the year 2013 already, now into the month of February. And February means two things. Well, two award shows are taking place. The Oscars and the Grammys. I mentioned yesterday, Oscars and Grammys both announced new performers to their show, along with the aforementioned Barbra Streisand added performance and Noah Jones and of course Adele at the Oscars. I mentioned yesterday on the attack line not only that, but also the Grammys added Justin Timberlake to the performance list. Well, new performers have been added again today, plus the first set of presenters added to the performances list of Grammy performers. Alicia Keys, multiple Grammy winner, will be performing along with, in a collaborative performance, Maroon 5, who are indeed nominated, along with Frank Ocean. Now, I kind of mentioned Frank Ocean was going to perform because on Monday on the attack line I mentioned about Frank Ocean's little incident involving Chris Brown and him at a LA studio getting into a fight, which is reportedly going to be a lawsuit going on. And anyway, Frank, when he was tweeting about this whole situation, he kind of tweeted out that he was going to perform at the Grammys, and now it's official. So that means now it's official that Frank Ocean is performing. That means all 5 of the Album of the Year nominees will be performing. That means Frank Ocean will perform, Fun will perform, Mumford & Sons are performing, Jack White's performing, and the Black Keys are performing. So all 5 Album of the Year nominees are performing. I don't think all Song of the Year nominees are performing. I don't think Carly Rae Jepsen's performing. But she is not performing, but she is presenting. Yes, Carly Rae Jepsen is presenting along with Katy Perry, Kelly Kuko, and Neil Patrick Harris. Makes sense because they're on CBS. Faith Hill, Tim McGraw, husband, and Keith Urban will be presenting. There's the first couple of presenters have been announced. It also announced not only they announced today the broadcast, the performers and more performers and the presenters. They also announced that the day before the Grammys, they're going to honor the 1-year anniversary of the week when Whitney Houston died. Of course, as we all know, last year Whitney Houston died the day before the Grammys. This year, they're going to honor Whitney's death the day before the Grammys in a new special called The Grammys Will Go On, A Death in the Family. Now, they had a Whitney tribute special, but this will be all about what happened leading up to the ceremony. A special look behind the scenes at how it really affected Grammys, Whitney Houston's death did. And the special will include interviews from people that were at the Grammys that night and that weekend when Whitney died. LL Cool J, Jennifer Hudson, Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift, and many others will be contributing to this special, which will be on February 9th, the day before the Grammys. A tribute, well, behind the scenes look on how Whitney's death affected the Grammys last year. So there you go. New Grammy performers and presenters, and Whitney Houston special day before Grammys announced. Now, a lot of people are going to be at the Grammys and doing a lot of things for Grammy night, including Drake, who's of course nominated for multiple Grammys, including Best Rap Album, Best Rap Song for YOLO, and many others. But it doesn't matter if he indeed wins a Grammy or not. He is going to be celebrating, as on the evening of the Grammys, February 10th, he released the first single from his new album, the follow-up to Take Care. The single, which will be out via Universal, is rumored to be called The Start from the Bottom or Started from the Bottom. There's been many rumors that Drake has left Young Money, but those rumors have not been confirmed. Apparently, rumors were flying that he left Young Money to go to Rock Nation, but those rumors have not been determined. So apparently Drake is still on Young Money, about to release his new single on Grammy night. Doesn't matter if he wins or loses. And at Grammy night, this woman may not be at the Grammys, but she has won many of them, including 6 in one night. Of course, I'm referring to Beyonce. Today, Beyonce had a big press conference, and of course, she was at Media Day at the Super Bowl as she prepares for Super Bowl halftime performance this upcoming Sunday. During the press conference, of course, the number one question that was asked by everybody in the press Did she really sing live during the inaugural ceremony? I never addressed it on here. I was going to, but there was a big debate on whether or not Beyonce sang live or not the national anthem at the inaugural ceremony. She kept denying it. I didn't see the clip, though. I need to see it. But after weeks of denial, Beyonce at the press conference for the Super Bowl halftime show, she finally admitted once and for all that yes, she did lip sync at the ceremony. So, she did sing the anthem live. And as she said at the press conference, she admitted during the Super Bowl news conference that when she decided to perform for Obama, she decided to sing to a pre-recorded track because she didn't have time to practice. Calling herself a self-proclaimed perfectionist, a la Madonna, she said she wanted the day to go off without a hitch. She said on the press conference about this whole situation, I practiced until my feet bleed and I didn't have time to rehearse with the orchestra. She said, adding that she was also emotional that day. Due to no proper sound check, I did not feel comfortable taking a risk. It was about the president and the inauguration, and I wanted to make him and my country proud, so I decided to sing along with my pre-recorded track, which is very common in the music industry, and I'm very proud of my performance. Despite that, Beyonce, like I said, she did sing live the ceremony. And she said that she will sing live at the halftime show. It won't be lip syncing. She said, I'll absolutely be singing live. This is what I was born to do. I always sing live, but the inauguration was unfortunately a time where I could not rehearse. That's her excuse. Actually, because I was rehearsing for the Super Bowl, she did release some rehearsal clips throughout the week. And we'll see if she can top Madonna, which I cannot say she will do. She once again denied, not only tried to deny the lip syncing for so long, she did admit to it, but she also answered questions concerning the rumors of the Destiny Child reunion. Of course, there's been a lot of rumors about that, including the leaked set list and Michelle Williams leaving her Broadway show, apparently to do the Beyonce halftime show, but she still ain't saying anything. Beyonce's still denying it. But indeed, there will be a Destiny Child reunion despite them trying to keep it a secret. But it's already leaked. So there you go. Beyonce news conference finally admits, after weeks of denial, she did lip sync at the inaugural ceremony, lip syncing the national anthem. I'm trying to lip sync myself, but I can't. Alright, time for some sports wrestling news. Now, before I get to... Gotta close the door here. Before we get to TNA, my thoughts on TNA Impact tonight in the UK. Pre-taped. A couple weeks of pre-taped Impact tonight. They got some news on WWE and thoughts on a possible WrestleMania match that could be shut down. Of course, this Sunday, of course, we all know Punk got screwed in many people's eyes about losing the title at Royal Rumble. Now, there's a lot of rumors going around that CM Punk, after that, was going to face off against The Undertaker. And in my mind, I think I agree with a lot of people, that it wouldn't make sense to have Punk against Taker now that Punk's no longer the champion. No matter how you look at it, but the screw job finish at Royal Rumble. And it wouldn't be as big because Punk doesn't have the title anymore. It would have been more exciting. Punk against Taker, streak against streak. Title streak against Mania streak would have been a big build-up. But if Punk's not champion, that possible match should not happen in many people's eyes. It may not happen after all because there's many rumors going around that Undertaker is not doing well. According to several sources, including PWI Insider, the status for Taker at Mania remains uncertain. As of a few months ago, Taker told WWE officials that he would be good to go, and he wanted to name CM Punk his hand-picked opponent. That's what happened. That's what everyone's been saying about Punk and Taker. However, it appears as his badly damaged hip and shoulder, which were worsened at Mania last year, might prevent him from competing. Should the Taker be unable to compete, WWE will have to make plans to the card. Punk will be left without an opponent. Now, I gotta say a few things here. Punk does end up wrestling Taker. Like I said, the build-up won't be as good as it once was because Punk's no longer the champion. Would have been a big hyped matchup, streak against streak. Especially Punk would hold on the title for a little bit longer if they didn't give it to The Rock. And I I do have a comment about Punk's reign for a moment. It was kind of tainted, like I mentioned on Monday's review, that the first half of his reign was great. Like from November to April, when he was still a face, there was a great months when he had great feuds with Jericho, Dolph Ziggler, and of course Daniel Bryan. But after he turned here in July, that's when the title reign went downhill, especially got tainted by losses, interference wins with Bad Medics and the Shield. Now we know we're paid off by Heyman. Now, if Punk needs a new opponent, if Taker, for whatever reason, decides to sit this Mania out, which will be the first Mania that Taker has missed since WrestleMania 2000. I think he's only missed 3 Manias in his career since he's been in the WWE. He missed WrestleMania 10. He missed 16. He's only missed 2 WrestleManias in his career since he's been active. So this will be his third if he were to miss. But if Punk needs a new opponent, it's tough to say, but I would say maybe insert him in Rock and Cena. Make it an interesting portion. Instead of just Rock against Cena, make Rock against Punk and Cena in a triple threat. That's what they should do if Taker can't wrestle. So there you go. Taker may not wrestle at Mania. Status still uncertain. Now, TNA Impact Wrestling preview for tonight from the UK. First up, Mania in UK. Of course, without Jeff Hardy. They'll probably talk more about his injury angle tonight, which they win him off because he cannot travel to the UK. So we'll see what happens there. Question number 5. The top 5 questions that must be answered tonight. Who will be called out for open fight night? Now, basically, everybody, including Bully Ray, who I'll talk about in a moment, concerning his suspension with Hulk Hogan, is going to call out many people of Ace and Eights. I know a lot of people are going to be calling out Ace and Eights members. Kurt Angle already did last week, which I'll get to in a moment as well. So I'll probably see a lot of people calling out members of Aces and Eights for damn sure. Now, question number 4. Speaking of open fight night, who will Joseph Paul call out during his Impact debut? Now, like I said, it's open fight night, so Joseph Paul's going to call out anybody he wants. I bet it's like a squash match, like Robbie E or something. So Joseph Park will be calling out somebody for open fight night in his first match. Like I said in my Impact review last week, that Joseph Park, aka Abyss, is doing a great acting job of thinking he's a shitty wrestler. So I'll give him credit for that, despite my hatred for the character that needs to go away soon. But people seem to like it. It's weird. Question number 3. We'll go down tonight's steel cage match. Like I mentioned, last week Kurt Angle did call out Mr. Anderson for the night in a steel cage match, one-on-one, or as Angle would say, one-on-one. So he wants Ace and Ace to stay out of it. But as I mentioned many times before in my reviews, when there's one Ace and Ace member in the ring, you can expect that the other Ace and Ace members will not be that far away. I bet you they will still get involved. You just saw in a tag team match a few weeks ago of Angle getting locked out of a cage by a member of Ace and Ace, despite there being a cage. So, no matter what, Ace and Ace will find a way to attack Angle despite the cage. It's like what happened with John Cena and Dolph Ziggler a couple weeks ago in their steel cage match. Biggie Langston still interfered despite the cage being there. So that's what probably happened with Ace and Ace tonight. Question number 2. We'll go down with Bully Ray and Hulk Hogan. Will Bully Ray get reinstated? Now, Bully Ray is still suspended as of this moment from active competition on Impact. And once again, is hanging all over Ace and Eights, especially Taz, for ruining his wedding with Brooke Hogan 2 weeks ago. But of course, Bully Ray is still suspended. And with a little plea from Sting last week, well, Hulk Hogan tonight, listen to the reasons, and reinstate his now son-in-law, Bully Ray, back in the Impact roster to get his hands all over Ace and Eight. Probably yes. Because Hogan says he doesn't do things halfway. He walked Brooke down the aisle. Now he needs to reinstate Bully. So we'll see what happens there. And the number 1 question that must be answered tonight, what will go down in a major announcement tease for tonight? Now, Dixie Carter posted on Twitter today that I'll be making a major announcement at Impact tonight. This will change everything. Now, it's being reported that finally they're saying Impact is going on the road. Yes, after years and years of begging, TNA is finally going to tape Impact on the road instead of just in the Impact Zone. I felt that Impact Zone crowd, I've been noticing it myself. I haven't said it on here, but the Impact Zone crowd kind of sucks. You know, because they're just there just to be there. And it's not going to make them a lot of big money and big ratings, but at least, hey, it's a good decision that indeed they're thinking about going on the road. They're saying the first episode is probably going to be in March. And they're going to do what Raw used to do. Tape 1 week live, and the next week, tape the same day. Like, have one live, and next week be taped. Like, they're going to do the first taping in Chicago. The Thursday, they do it live. And then the next week, it will be taped from the same venue that same day. They're probably going to tape 2 Impacts in one day. One live, one taped. That's what they're probably going to do. That's what I'm hearing from several sources. So I expect to hear an announcement concerning TNA Impact hitting the road for tapings tonight. And all that and more tonight on Impact at 8/7 Central on Spike TV. Because right after that, Bellator from Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant, where I saw a TNA house show a few years ago. That is it for the Atakline for today. See you later for my wall review. Did I say wall review? Sorry. TNA Impact review for tonight. See you later. Thank you for watching. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the news from Zach. Yeah.